I have already recorded the second part of the video, but I want to show you a little pitfall that happened to me that might happen to you as well. Sometimes the latency gets thrown off, so that means that even though I'm reading it on the beat, the recording doesn't sound like it's on the beat. If that happens to you, all you just need to know is that if it sounds like it's not laying on the beat anymore, under settings, you can do a latency test, and it will listen to your click that you're hearing in the microphone and the click that's coming out, and it will adjust it. So you just have to click it. It'll make an adjustment for your latency, and then it should line up with a beat. So this one now lines up with a beat. I've already read somebody's decima. I'm going to adjust this decima now so that it ends exactly at that time. Let's listen to it.
In space there are plenty of stars, no need to panic. If you slip, you will float around the spaceship. There are planets like the red Mars, there are rockets that can go far. You might starve in space without food, that could change your overall mood. Parts can be fixed with a socket to fly into space with rockets. There are aliens that intrude.
Okay, so once you got it recorded, we're just going to clean it up just a teeny bit. So we have, first of all, we don't want to hear the metronome anymore. So I'm going to turn that off. I'm also going to get rid of this. So you can see these little clicks, these little sound waves that are happening mean that it was recording the metronome out of my headphones. So I'm just going to clean it up a little bit by putting my scrub bar here, right at the end of when I'm speaking, and making a cut with this button. So now I've turned these into two separate tracks. I'll slide this down here and do the same thing here. I could go right up against this, but you can see that I'm starting to speak slightly ahead of the beat. So we don't want to cut that off because it will sound funny. So I'm just going to go back a teeny bit like that, make a cut. And once I've got that part cut out, oops, let's see here. This has happened before. I'm not exactly sure why, but we want to collect that. There we go. And then hit delete. So just be patient with it. Sometimes it's a little funny. So now this will be nice and silent in the between there.
In space there are plenty of stars, no need to panic. If you slip, you will float around the spaceship. There are planets like the red Mars, there are rockets that can go far. You might starve in space without food, that could change your overall mood. Parts can be fixed with a socket to fly into space with rockets. There are aliens that intrude.
All right, so this is sort of our foundation. We're going to use this to build our song around. So this is kind of where I need you to be at the end of this lesson. Okay? So remember, if you need to record it slower, you can do that. In fact, since it seems to be working now, let me just quickly demonstrate that. So I'm going to get rid of this and this. Let's take this down a notch. So if the tempo is just too fast for you to read, if I slow it down here, should still line up, but I might need to retest the latency, but let's try. I'm going to hit record. Oops, got to make sure that you're in the right track when you hit record. So make sure that you have the right track armed, we call that. And then I hit record button. 2, 3, 4, 2 and 2 and 3 and 4. And in space there are plenty of stars. No need to panic. If you slip, you will float around the spaceship. There are planets like the red Mars. There are rockets that can go far. So I'm going to stop it here. And it should, let's see if it lines up with a beat first of all.
In space there are plenty of stars.
So it totally lines up. Now if I adjust this tempo, it should adjust my recording. So you want to say yes, so that it matches the beat still. So even though now it's going at a faster speed, my voice should still be on beat.
In space there are plenty of stars, no need to panic. If you slip, you will float around the spaceship. There are planets like the red Mars, there are rockets that can go far.
All right, so you see how that works, okay? So if it's too fast for you, slow that baby down. About 60 beats per minute. It's going to be, you get 1 second for each quarter note. or a half a second for each eighth note, which should be slow enough that you can read your decima. All right. Good luck.